morning, Dolphin fans. Welcome to another episode of the best, most positive Dolphin show on all the internet, the Fins Bandwagon. I'm your host, Fins Pods, and with me, as always, is the most positive Dolphins fan out there, Fins to win, my dad, Hank. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. And you know why I'm doing great?
Why are you doing great?
Because all of our players are rested up. You know, it's been a nice, cushy week off, and now they're getting back to practice and getting everything flowing. And, you know, they're on a pretty good run, and I like the direction they're going.
Yeah.
You know,
who are the people who in May, June, July, August, September, who never jumped off the bandwagon? Who knew this was going to happen? Me and you.
I've been saying, you know, it was just a matter of time before this happened. Yeah. And they actually put the goods into the, you know, they went and got good ingredients to make the soup this time. You know what I mean?
We're going to have some fun tonight. Yeah, we're going to have some fun tonight talking about all the positive stuff. I titled the show that we posted on Twitter that the Dolphins are going to explode in the second half. And it's sort of a pun how in the first half of the season, they were truly a second half football team. And last year, if you remember, they were truly a second half football team. And I think last game, and we'll talk about it a little bit, was truly the last game before they went on the bye, was really a statement game on what happens when they actually can play 60 minutes of football. And it's a real sign for the fact that they went in with momentum and not taking anything for granted. They weren't slowly heading into the bye week. I just want to go on the bye. All the players had a chance to get healthy, relax, train, have fun. But let's talk about the bye week. I know you were on Fin Talks today. You got to spend time with Bobby in person. I'm sure that was a lot of fun. Tell me a little more about that. And then tell me how you've enjoyed your bye week the last couple of days.
You know, Bobby just popped in and did a little fame and fortune and gave me a little bit of the wave and said, see you later. And that was about all I saw of Bobby. Oh. No, we had a good time. We were out on the lanai, the deck, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. We were outside and we had a good show. It was fun.
It was fun. I was there. I never missed the show.
It was a lot of fun. Hey, Fins up, Thirsty. It was a lot of fun going back and forth, you know, sitting next to him. It felt like it should feel, you know, like we were supposed to be sitting next to each other.
Yeah, well,
so it was.
Don't tell the producer, but he plans on having a show with every single member of the Fins Talk Network all on him one day. All of us in one place.
All in one place, huh? Yeah, I hope it's at the stadium because I know I can make that.
Maybe Arizona. We'll talk about that.
You never know. We'll have to talk about that too.
So let's just talk about a little bit. So one thing I want to talk about tonight was really we always focus on the bandwagon and all that, but the one thing I want to talk about a little bit before we talk about our team and what our expectations are of the second half is we know what's really nice for me this season.
What's up, Steve?
What's up, Steve? You guys had a great show. Dolphins Thirsty. It was great to talk to you guys. Alex, thank you for co-producing tonight. We really appreciate it. What was really nice this past Sunday was to actually watch football stress-free. And it was nice to watch football and actually watch teams and how they perform. Because during our games, when the Dolphins are playing, you can watch Red Zone, you can watch all that, but you're focused on your team and you're focused on the Dolphins. But and you always hear about how other teams are doing. And I've been saying all season how the divisions are wide, how the AFC is wide open. And I really got to see how certain teams were playing. And I'm telling you right now, to watch two teams that were just creeping up behind us a little bit in the Jets and the Patriots. That was one of the most awful football games I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, what a
you walk. Okay, Hank, you walk further to go to the bathroom than the Jets did per play in the second half. They had minus 21 yards of offense. I don't care what anybody says. At the beginning of this year, they ranked Tua the fourth rated quarterback in the division. Look at him. Look at Mac Jones. It was one of the most awful games I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm telling you this right now, Buffalo, something's up with Buffalo. And I think it's the fear that they're not as good as everyone thought they'd be. The pressure's getting to them. Something's off. Yes, they didn't play in Buffalo because there were 6 feet of snow. I hope everyone's safe there. I have snow in Montreal too. But They played in the end. The Browns almost came back. They kept it close for towards the end of the game. It wasn't like our statement game. Something's up with them. Josh Allen's trying too hard. The defense. I think there's too high expectations. That's the thing. The best thing about Dolphins, you and I had high expectations about our team, but no one else. A lot of other people didn't.
Well, that's why we're trying to lead the bandwagon.
Exactly.
Here,
Exactly. But the Bills. I don't know what's up with them.
Even when people are down in the dumps, see, that's the whole point. Even when people are down in the dumps and don't believe, you got to cheer on your team, and that's what the bandwagon's all about.
That's what we do.
Cheer on your team no matter what. And let me ask you a question here. Dolphins Thirsty, Real Talk, Fins Talk. I will be on there as soon as I'm invited.
No, he wants you to watch the show and troll them like I do.
He said right there, when are you going to watch or join?
Or watch or join.
Yeah.
Hey, you better not be cheating on me. I let you cheat on me with Bobby, but not with them.
I was the one that was messing with the green stuff. What happened over there?
I don't know. I have no idea. You never know.
But you are in Canada, so.
Yeah, in Canada, it's more easily accessible. All mail to order. But honestly, it was amazing to watch football. Just to watch the inability of a lot of the teams. A lot of teams are just falling through the cracks a little bit. There's a lot of Jekyll and Hyde in the league right now. Kansas City is a beast. I see that. San Francisco's coming on its own, but you never know what you're going to expect from the Vikings. The Bills aren't what everyone thinks they're going to be. The Jets are really an aberration. There's no offense to be seen in New England. I'll give credit to the Eagles. They played well. I was not cheering for them. I wanted them to lose because I don't want a team to be better than the Dolphins. But I didn't see teams that were so phenomenal. And that were so there was one thing I learned this Sunday. There's not one team, and we're about to talk about our Dolphins, that I am worried about facing. I don't care where it is, how it is. I don't care if it's cold, hot. This team has the skill set. And when we'll talk about the cold weather in a minute, why we have the skill set to win. So let's now talk about the most positive aspects of the team that have been in the first half, where we've already seen a sense of explosion. And that is Tua and the receiving corps. They have been as advertised. Let's forget about what happened the first few games of the year, Tua out. But since Tua's been back, we're the third ranked offense. Think about this. Even with Tua out for 3 games, Hank, imagine if he would have been there for all 3 games. We're the third ranked offense. I think you and I were the only ones, I think, on this network that said they would be a top 10 offense in this league. I think we're doing pretty well with that, don't you think?
Oh, I think they're going to be better than top 10 by the end of the season, though.
No, they're top 3 now. I think they might be top 1 at the end of this season, the way they're going.
Yeah, well, I know I was pretty high up on the offense, and I don't know if I said top 10 or top 5.
Yeah,
I said either the defense or the offense. I believe one of them was top 5. I don't remember which one.
But the top, honestly, Tyreek Hill, as Bobby always says, is as advertised. Since Tua came back,
and then
Waddle,
some.
Yeah,
and Waddle's then some. I've never seen Miami pay a lot of money like that and it actually work out.
Yeah, we always win the offseason. What I mean?
That's
Mike Wallace, right, Brandon Marshall, Donovan Sue. We always spend money, but this is the first time because you want to know we didn't get a player who was trying to be elite. We got a player who was already elite, and what we all thought, which is what makes me more happy than anything, is we thought he was going to facilitate the other players and he wouldn't have as great stats. His stats are absolutely out of this world. They're otherworldly. He's the offensive player of the year. To talk about Hill a little bit, there was actually on ESPN yesterday, there was a huge back and forth for like 20 minutes on who has been more valuable to his team. Has it been Mahomes or has it been Hill? And yes, we're homers, but I'll say it's Hill because Mahomes had Andy Reid, has Travis Kelce, has his offense. He showed up here, new scheme, and I don't know about you. Whenever I watch our motion, I get dizzy. He learned a brand new scheme, a brand new offense, brand new quarterback where he hyped. No one believed him. Everyone thought he was shooting rainbows, the fact that Tua could do what he could do. He proved everybody wrong. He basically said, I'm going to put my stamp on this team, and he has facilitated the strength of this team. The confidence this team has is primary because of him. He's made Tua a better quarterback. He's made Waddle a better wide receiver. He made everyone around him better. He made Mike McDaniel more confident. The schemes they can come with, it's been phenomenal what he's done for this team. I have nothing but anything to say about it. Alex, the best producer ever. Yes, he is, because he doesn't jump off that bandwagon. He's a positive person, not just a realist, Bobby. But what are your thoughts on the overall offense and what you've seen from the receivers and the quarterbacks?
Well, when you take a look at this offense, obviously the first thing that stands out to you are the wide receivers.
Yeah.
Right? That's what everybody says. But now Miami has not a 2-punch, a 3-punch in the backfield. Yeah. You have Ingold, Mostert, and who's the other guy again?
Jeff Wilson Jr.
Oh, yeah. Wilson Jr. Didn't he have quite a nice game?
Yeah, 7 yards a carry.
So he did all right.
Yeah. So now, but that's why I want to talk.
My point is, like you were saying, it doesn't matter to you where we go. Well, there we are running the ball like crazy. Hopefully it wasn't just because it was against the Browns or whoever, you know. I'm hoping that we can really get this run going throughout the rest of the season, and especially in cold weather.
Yeah,
we need that. We need that. We've never had that before, ever.
Yeah. So I was going to talk about that. So you brought up the running game, but I'm going to tie it a little bit. So first, I'm going to talk about the fact that your T-shirt is as clean as Tua's jersey's been the last 2 weeks. Tua didn't even have to put his jersey in the laundry. He literally, that offensive line that we've all been worried about all year with Shell and Jones getting out rid of Little and Eichenberg has been phenomenal. So you're saying you're worried about?
I was building up to that, but now you took away my.
No, but I'm about to get to the running game. No, because I'm going to make
powder now.
No, I'm going to let you talk about the running game, and then you can talk about the offensive line, because the offensive Tua and the running game can do whatever they want. And I'm going to talk. We're going to get to the running game in a few minutes, but talk about the offensive line, what they've been able to do for the running game, which we're going to talk about, because the two elements that are going to be key to us in the second half, because the two areas that have been strong the last 3 weeks has been the wide receiver core, Tua as a combination, and the O-line. Yeah. So talk about the O-line a little bit, and then we're going to talk about the running game and then the other side of the football. But talk to me about what's impressed you most about the offensive line.
The two new pieces.
Yeah.
The two new pieces.
Don't
you agree?
Yeah.
Since those two new pieces came into this chess set, it's been a game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, before we were playing checkers.
Yeah.
But you got those two new pieces in there, and boom, it's like you hit the other end of the table. You know what? It's time to make it a couple queens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. And now the offensive line is firing on all cylinders like it's supposed to. And like you said, his jersey's staying clean. But that's a product of all of it, though. That's a product of all of it. Having these people to run. Stop letting people load up the box. They can't do it to the Dolphins anymore. They can't do that. They can't even think about doing it with Hill and Waddle and everybody else. Forget about it. And that's the best part about this team now. Like you said, put them up against anybody. I have no issue with that. Now, do I want them to have to play the Chiefs? No, the Chiefs are a very hard team to beat. But if you want to get to the Super Bowl, you're going to have to beat some teams. And the Chiefs would probably be one of them.
Yep, absolutely. So the reason I want to talk about the offensive line a little bit, and then because for the first 10 weeks of the season, if you think about it on the offense, what's up, Diggin', everyone? Don't forget to like and subscribe. We really appreciate everyone watching the show. The one key
thing, and I'll take you up on that offer. Just hit me up with a DM.
Yeah, he's a blast, but he's a blast. We should do a rotation show. You go on that show, and I take one of them, which is like a role reversal and confuse people. One day we'll do Real Talk, Fins Talk, and these two have to be positive for half an hour. Let's see if they can do it. But no, the reason I want to talk about the offensive line, the offense, and everything was that for the first 10 games of the year, what was been most amazing is that Mike McDaniel has been able to tinker a little bit, and he's figured out how to make the wide receivers work together, how the quarterback to work, and now Frank Smith, Matt Applebaum, they've made the offensive line work. And we've yet to play on the offensive side of the ball. We've been playing with a okay running game. We got Jeff Wilson, and now it's become very different. But for the first 8 games of the year, we didn't have much of a running game. It was very suspect. The reason why I'm so hyped on the offense now, which we're going to talk about the running game, is the fact, like you said, it's going to surprise everybody. We're going to go face Houston, and you'll let you talk about the game on Saturday. But the one thing about Houston has a worse run defense than Cleveland. If I am Mike McDaniel in this offense, run all day long on Sunday when you're there, because you need to get that running game so confident and to confuse all the other teams that they're going to be facing. Because if you show, I think they're going to run for like 200 yards on Sunday against that run defense of Houston. They're awful. And I think Mike McDaniel knows this is a home game. We're only giving up 15 points a game. It's a home game. They're going to crush it. This is going to be even a greater statement game than the Cleveland game. They know that they have to solidify this, because our fellow colleagues on the previous show on Real Talk Fins talked about the fact that if we head into the West Coast with an 8-3 record, we're golden, because there's such confidence there. They have to show that they don't want to play mediocre teams. Do not play down to your competition. Kill your competition, and that's what Dolphins are going to do. And Jeff Wilson, I'm looking at a stat here. Do you know that Jeff Wilson, before you go
digging?
Yeah, what's up? Do you know that Jeff Wilson has more rushing yards now playing? He was a little bit of a third stringer for 2 weeks in San Francisco. You know, he still has more rushing yards now that he's also played 2 weeks for the Dolphins than Christian McCaffrey and then Brandon Ayuk. The guy is a monster. He's a power runner, and Mostert. That offense, I talk about the running game and what impresses you and what your expectations are for the running game in the second half. Because I think this running game is going to turn our offense, in combination with our offense, we are going to be either number 1 or number 2, worst case, offensive team at the end of the season. I think we are going to explode. If you think our offense is okay right now, we're at 25 points a game. I don't care cold weather, schmold weather. We will end up finishing. I made a prediction at the end of the year, and you heard it here first. I said they were going to average 28 points a game, and they're going to average at least 28 points a game at the end of this season. What are your thoughts on the running game and the overall offense?
Wow, Evan. That's a lot you threw on me there. No,
but have some fun. We still have 40 minutes. Go for it.
Well, this team hasn't even been really unleashed yet. It's the funny part. I mean, it kind of happened in the comeback from the Ravens game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where Tua just completely went out of his mind and threw up 6. Okay.
Who you daddy?
So, but that's just a flash of what's coming.
Yeah.
Who daddy? What's up, homeboy? So that's just a flash of what's coming.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're talking about the offensive line. They haven't, no dirt on the shirt. You know what I mean? No dirt on the shirt. No. You got your quarterback just walking around back there, taking his time, getting his reads.
Yeah.
Not only that, too, is quick. He's got a quick release, too.
He's so quick.
It's almost like he instantaneously sees what's going on by the time he sets that back foot to throw the ball. He's ready. He's committed. Yeah. And that was something that was missing from his game. And now that's stepped up ever since he's got a running game. Ever since the passing game has taken pressure off of the offensive line. So now we can run the ball also. But we also got a great back in Wilson. So you just add everything together and you have a beast coming up in the offense, you know? And I don't really see anybody that can sit there and say, oh, well, I'm not worried about Miami. Miami's a win. I don't think there's any team right now in the NFL that would say that.
No team wants to come face us on offense. So they know that if they want to face us, they got to put up 35 or they ain't going to win the football game. They don't have a chance. Honestly, they don't. So overall, let's talk now about the defense, and then we're going to talk about the rest of the year, and we'll talk a little bit about special teams, and then we'll project the rest of the year based on what our expectations are so far. So the defense, you were there. You ever notice? I think you might be the secret sauce. I said that on Saturday. Do you know that every home game you think about this. We're giving up, because I like to steal stats. I like to plagiarize off the previous show. We're giving up about 24 points a game overall. But we're only giving up 15 points a game at home. You've been to all these home games. The defense steps up. And if we remember last year, and they made good points. I was watching a few shows today, and some big good points. Last year, and I got to give a little more credit to Boyer. I've been hard on Josh Boyer. Josh Boyer last year was focused on the fact that he was not going to be pressuring the quarterback. He'd do zero blitz once in a while, but he was relying on Brandon Jones, Javon Holland, Byron Jones, and Xavier Howard to be ball hawks. This year, he's had to adjust to the fact that he's playing with his number 1, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8 corners. He doesn't have Byron Jones. He doesn't have Trill Williams. Doesn't have Nick Needham. He's playing with Kader Kahu, who's been absolutely a revelation. He's playing with Justin Bethel. He's playing Noah's number 9 on this list, or 10 on this list. They're bringing Clay Fedgelin. They're trying everything they possibly could. And now he has to adjust to a new defense where he has Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, Melvin Ingram, Wilkins, Sealer. He now has to be much more focused on getting to the quarterback with his defensive line, not just relying on the secondary. We all thought going into the beginning of the season that the secondary was going to be the key to our defense. This year, we know it's across the line. And as our famous digging in the trenches guy, it's all about the trenches right now, and that's what we need to do. And what they showed last game was...
You know what? It's about digging in the trenches and stacking bricks.
It's exactly what it is. Is exactly bricks. Is exactly what it is. But what's been amazing is the fact that last game against Cleveland, Myles Garrett, did he even play? I didn't even see him on the field the way he was playing. But I saw Bradley Chubb. I saw Melvin Ingram. I saw Zach Sealer. I saw Christian Wilkins. We were eating last game. This team is hungry, and they know that they only have 3 or 4. They know the second half of the season that they know the offense is going to put up 30 for them. They know that the offense is there. They just need to not break. They need to play smarter, more aggressive defense, and do what they need to do. So for me, I truly believe that this is now the defense is going to show that they have the moxie to get to be, because defenses also win championships, not just offense. And defenses, if you look at some of these past couple Super Bowls, defenses are what help you win, not just offense. Offense gets you enough points, but the defense has to stand up and do what they need to do. And I believe that right now, especially with the bye, Boyer is getting ready to explode with this defense. We couldn't pressure. Watch us pressure. I think Davis Mills may have him play. It may be Kyle Allen who's playing. That guy's jersey is going to be filthy on Sunday. We are going to crush this defense. I'm telling you, I have much more confidence in this defense right now over taking the week off. I don't know about you, but I really have a lot of faith that this defense is going to be like the second half defense of last year, and they're going to solidify the fact that this team is a contender. What are your thoughts?
Well, let me say what's up to Ralph out there. Thanks for joining us again.
Ralphie boy!
Yeah, we're about to explode. I mean, but you got to remember, this defense hasn't really gelled. No. We put a lot of different pieces in it, and it hasn't gelled yet. So my point is, it's actually going to get better. Yeah. You're telling me how great it is, but it's going to get better.
That's what I'm saying.
We're not even good. Thing with the offense. My mind is just blown. You know what I mean? It's like, I haven't seen Miami look this good since the 70s.
No.
The 70s was a balanced team, and that's why they won.
Yeah.
They were balanced, and this team is balanced with crazy talent across the board. Yeah. So I don't care. You just mentioned them all before. I don't have to keep mentioning all these great guys. I mean, it goes on and on, the list of A1 players we have. We have top-notch players in the NFL finally. Yeah. They're not getting broken down every week. This isn't happening. That isn't going on. Our offensive and defensive coordinators aren't on the pipe somewhere. You know, there's a lot of different changes for the Miami Dolphins that came in over this 3-4 year period. Yeah. And it's all been positive. Yeah, they dinked and dunked around with Tua a little bit like idiots, but they paid the price. They paid the man. They got the slap on the hand. The owner didn't get to go to the games. He'll be at this game, I bet you. And I know he's going to enjoy the outcome because I know I'm going to.
Yeah. I told you this. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to repeat it again. our numero uno is going to be undefeated at home this season. I don't see him losing one game at home. There's not one team that fears me at home. We have Houston, we have Green Bay, and I believe we have the Jets. I think that's it. I'm not worried about those three. Are you kidding me? The way the Jets played, are you kidding me? There's zero fear. They have a phenomenal defense, no offense. We have a phenomenal offense with an upcoming running game. Think about it. We're 7-3. We're a dark horse, and we haven't even played. We played one sort of 60-minute game. We win these games, and people are saying we still need to see a little bit more from the Dolphins. But we're just hitting our stride. We have our running game is getting better. Our defense is getting better. Our offense with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Tua, I have zero fears. I have zero qualms, and honestly, I couldn't be more excited. Watching football this past Sunday, like I said, was so relaxing because all it reminded me was the fact that the Dolphins are still in first place, and they can battle with any team in this league, and it's amazing.
They're second seed AFC overall.
Yeah. We're second seed overall, and I'm not worried about facing anybody. You want to know what? I was watching a little bit with Snowman, Javon Holland today, and he's interviewing. He's having a good time with the players in the locker room. You hear the word family, and that's the thing. You see the sense of unity. You see the sense of joy of Dolphin fans. Like I live in Montreal. You wouldn't believe the number of Dolphin fans, and we all used to just cow our heads a little bit, saying, "Oh yeah, same old Dolphins." Now people stop you. I literally, if I'm wearing anything Dolphins like I am right now, I get stopped for like half an hour by random strangers. Talk to me about the Dolphins. You know what I mean? Like, it's phenomenal. It's crazy. And someone asked me,
I'm here in Orlando, and I wear Dolphins gear all the time.
Yeah,
I wear usually a jersey or something. Tonight I just put on a quick T-shirt.
Yeah,
because I like to keep it casual with you. You know.
Yeah, of course, we're relaxed.
Yeah, I like to be like, I'm just hanging out with everybody in my house.
It's not as stressful as Fins Talk today. I love you, Bobby.
Fins Talk today, oh yeah, the lights come on for that, and the pressure's on, and I start sweating. No, I'm just kidding. As long as I got Bobby with me, I'm all right.
You son of a. Anyway,
I love you, Hank.
Me too. He doesn't love me. He doesn't love me very much.
Hey,
guys,
right
thank you for watching the show. We're halfway through the show. Don't forget to watch the Beer and Sports podcast after the show. I'll be on there having a good time if they don't let me back on the show this week, because I can only imagine what Josh Wingate's going to talk about. Can I guess Dak Prescott? We'll talk about that after. But anyways, for the next half an hour of the show.
Don't you see that, Evan? Look at that.
Look at that.
Your heart is beating for you, man.
Oh. Hey guys, what a wonderful family we are on this Fins Talk Network. We love everyone who's watching today. So let's now talk about the rest of the season overall. Let's talk about each game a little bit, because I have an interesting idea. So let's talk about Houston. Houston is a home game. This could be this could be a trap game. They have to win this game. Like Rob said in the previous show, this is a statement game.
I don't believe in trap games.
No. Meaning that they can't take the pedal off the metal. They can't realize they're playing a 1-7-1 team. They have to play like they're playing a team that's just as equivalent to them. Because the last time they faced Houston and they were this great of a point favorite was 2003 opener, Matt Shaw versus Jay Fiedler, and we crapped the bed. So this team needs to come out on all cylinders and crush this game. And for me, like I said, I don't know about you, it should be a running game. Tua will do his thing. They'll all do their thing, but let the running game, before we head on the road, explode. Find the holes, continue to do what you need to do, but this should be solidify the running game before you head on the West Coast. What are your thoughts?
I don't think they should overrun the game.
No?
And I'll tell you why. If they do too much running, then they have too much scheme on Miami before they actually pound it into people. I hope that they run a more balanced, and the only reason why is to keep his schemes under wraps until after we play San Francisco. After we play San Francisco, I totally agree.
I'll let you win that one. Very smart take. Elder statesman. He's not just a pretty face, guys. He's a really, really intelligent guy. Okay, so let's talk about San Francisco. Everyone's saying, San Francisco, what a game they had against Arizona. What a game that they're coming on. You want to know what? Everyone says that sometimes the disciples lose to the teachers. Like the student always loses to the teacher. I don't agree. I don't agree. You want to know what? You don't think Trent Sherfield, River Craycraft if he plays, but Jeff Wilson, Raheem Mostert, weren't they replaced by Christian McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk? You don't think that Mike McDaniel wants to go school Kyle Shanahan? You don't understand. He has schemes. He's been planning for this all season. The fact that he's running games, I'm not worried about Jimmy G. If we have to go on a shootout, Tua, Jimmy G wishes he was Tua. Like, Tua was number two. He got the ball this year because Trey Lance got injured. This was Tua's ball to win this year, and he's proven his worth. The only reason Jimmy G's on the field is because his quarterback in front of him got injured. They want to trade him. You know what I mean? For me, honestly, I'm not worried about San Francisco because, like Rob and Steve said before.
Well, look at it this way too, Evan. There's another side to this too. All right.
What are your thoughts?
It's the same side that you're on, but I'm just saying, Mike McDaniel knows that team inside and out.
Hasn't changed.
He knows the defense. He knows the offense. But guess what? The 49ers do not know the Miami Dolphins inside and out. I'm talking player personnel, what they can and can't do. He has a good idea on their pros and cons for each player, I'm sure. And I'm sure that they're going to exploit whatever that might be, you know.
But
so
also,
we'll see how it goes.
Forget,
I think that Miami has just too much talent on the team overall. And I've said this on Twitter and everywhere else. They just have too much talent right now. I can't see anything getting in their way unless it's a 6-foot snowstorm.
Yeah. Very funny. Don't worry. If they get a 6-foot snowstorm, Tua doesn't have to worry. I will be there in Buffalo. I'm a Montreal. I'm a Canadian. Snow is nothing to us. I'll be snow plowing them away to the wind. By the way, also don't forget John Embry, former tight ends coach, Wes Welker, former wide receiver coach. They know how to plan for that offense. I'm telling you, they're going to be perfectly prepared to play San Francisco. San Diego Chargers. I love saying that, but it's the LA Chargers. And there's a great article, guys. Go check out Dolphin Thirsty. Great article. We shouldn't be doing the comparisons anymore, but I just want to remind everybody that Justin Herbert had a chance to win the game again on Sunday. Crap the bet again. So I'm just telling you, heading into that game, I don't want to hear anything about the fact that he's a better talent. He's a more athletic quarterback. He's bigger. He's stronger. He can throw the ball far. I don't care. That doesn't make a quarterback. It will be an important game. But you want to know what? I'm not worried about that game because Tua doesn't care who's on the other side. He's going out there to win a football game. He's a winner. He continues to win. And I'm not worried about LA because LA also has an awful run defense. And that's a key thing for us. You said it. For the first couple games, we didn't have a balanced attack. We're going to have a balanced attack heading onto the road. And I'm not worried about it. And if they're smart, and I'm sure everyone on the chats will agree, I wouldn't come home. I would stay in San Francisco and then shift over to LA, get used to the weather, get used to the time change, relax, enjoy, do what you need to do, and then stay on the West Coast. Then
just
come
chill
home,
out by the beach and have
chill out by the beach,
right?
Chill out in the Pacific, and then I'm not worried about that game. And then we have Buffalo. Come back home, see your family for a few days, then Buffalo. If I were them, I'd go a day early to Buffalo, get acclimated to the weather, let Tua sleep in a tent outside the stadium.
There's going to be no weather. Didn't you hear global warming? It's going to be 60 degrees when we play them.
Oh, no snow. There's going to be a heat wave in Buffalo on December the 15th.
It's going to be 60 in Buffalo when we play them.
No, what I'm convinced, and I said this before, and I'm sure I'll see people agree, we're going to be ahead of the Dolphins. We're going to be a game up on them. They're going to be looking up at us when that game happens.
I hope you're right.
But that's going to be a running game because you know what? Last couple of years, the game in Tennessee, the game in Buffalo 2 years ago, we didn't have a running attack. This is the game where I'm telling you, this is where there needs to be a little balance, but it has to lean towards the running game. The running game has to be the strength of this, and the kind of runners that we have is made perfect for this. And that's where I'm most focused on.
Thank you, Ralph.
But you're convinced, though, that this will be a tight game. This is going to be, if they're going to lose a game, this is the one you shouldn't be too worried about if they lose it, right?
Well, if the Buffalo game?
Yeah.
Yeah, you better be worried. If you lose the Buffalo game,
if it's a close game, what if it's a close game?
I don't care if it's a close game. If you lose to Buffalo, you're not going to the Super Bowl.
If you lose one game, really? If they lose one game to them and they win out the rest of them?
Yeah.
You're convinced of
I
that?
honestly believe if we lose to Buffalo, we will not go to the Super Bowl.
Do you have that on recording? Because I don't believe that, Bobby. He's going to eat his words later. Just kidding with you. Christmas.
If Buffalo beats us, I don't see us going to the Super Bowl. I've said that already.
I'm not worried.
You got me recorded on the other show saying it.
I know, but I'm not worried if they lose. I think as long as they show an effort.
You're asking me my opinion, and
I know I'm not worried about this because honestly, no team is perfect, and if they lose one game, I'm okay with the fact that they split Buffalo. As long as they maintain their wins everywhere else and they show a statement, there's nothing wrong with going into cold weather. If they win, phenomenal. But I would
Buffalo's playing a bunch of nobodies.
No, but if I were to lose to Buffalo,
their hardest thing is going to be the Lions. Probably,
I'd be more nervous losing to the Chargers and the Texans and the Packers than losing to the Bills. At this point, I'm not like those would bother me more than losing to the Bills at home. But don't worry, as long as it's not a flex game, on Saturday night, because my kids do come first, and it's a Sunday afternoon game, 1:00, or they do it on Sunday or something, I will be at the game. I will find hell or high water. I will drive the 5 hours and I'll be there.
Well, then you'll have to bring home a win for us.
Oh, I will bring home a win for you. Okay,
right on.
Christmas Day. Are you going to be celebrating Christmas at Hard Rock?
Who, me?
Yeah, Packer game. Are you going to be there?
You know I am.
So you're going to be celebrating Christmas with your Dolphins family.
You darn right. I will be there for Christmas. And my wife and I will be there cheering on the Dolphins as they whoop up on the Green Bay Packers.
Doesn't worry me. I think that is going to be one of the loudest games of the year. I think because there's so. Wait, you're going to see a lot of Montreal.
That Jets game.
You're going to see a lot of Canadians there. You're going to see a lot of Canadians in the stands that game. I'm telling you, all the snowbirds go down there.
That Jets game is going to be explosive.
That's the end of the year. Why? They're going to be 6. Why? The Jets are going to be. The Jets may not win another football game the rest of the year the way they're playing with Zach Wilson. You're going to have to put in Joe Flacco.
I understand Zach Wilson and all that, but just say they do win enough games.
They're not winning. With Joe Flacco? With Joe Flacco? Are you kidding me? Not a chance. They don't have Breece Hall. They don't have a quarterback. You win nothing. They're going to literally, if they're lucky to win 2 more games at the most, they're lucky. They'll be lucky. The only person who truly believes in the Jets is Bobby Melendez. Because he loves Joe Douglas. Okay.
Well, I didn't say I believe in the Jets. I'm just trying to say they have a nice defense.
Yeah. So what do you think about facing the Patriots in January? What are your thoughts?
That's going to be a tough one, too. That's not going to be a pushover game. And I know you got macaroni and cheese there. And, you think that's an edible dish for the Miami Dolphins. But it's going to be a hard game. It's the time of year where Miami usually has its most difficulties. And I've watched this team forever. And I'm telling you, they always have difficulties in bad weather. But if we go in there without showing our complete running game, which I was saying to you, I hope we don't show our complete running game before we get to those games, because those games we're going to need a running attack. Whereas the other games, we can air it out a bit, and we're going to have to with the Chargers and with the 49ers. You're going to have to keep up in points, and both of those teams can score points.
So can we. For me, that's why. They're still cooking. We had a nice appetizer. Now we're into the meal, and the last part of the season is going to be the dessert. This offense, this running game is coming into fruition at the exact right time of the year to give us the key balance attack we need to go in for the rest of this year and win 12, 13 games. And because I'm telling you this, I've said it before, this team will be hosting a playoff game. They will be hosting a playoff game this year. You will be going to a home playoff game. I am telling you this right now. This team has what it needs to do what it needs to do. I truly believe that. This team is about to explode. They're a second-half football team. They're going to show their moxie. The team is going to explode. Now, let's talk about one area of the team which I'm going to be very positive about, because I'm about to give him a free mea culpa, because I thought about it during the bye. We have a kicker who's had the yips for the last couple of weeks. and the special teams. I believe the special teams is going to shock us because what's going to basically happen is the special teams now knows that they're in third place on this team. It's the offense, it's the defense, it's the special teams. The special teams does not want to be. A lot of the players on special teams are easily replaceable. They're looking to have jobs next year. They're looking to keep their jobs. They need to show that they're capable of winning, of not losing us a football game. And now we're going to be playing tight games against San Francisco, against Buffalo in cold weather, New England. Yeah, you need to not miss an extra point. You need to get into great field position because it's like Rob said on the previous show. It's not his distance; it's his accuracy. So I really hope he spent time with a psychologist. He went to go to an island somewhere. Whatever he had to do, Jason.
What
Sanders,
are you talking about?
I hope that he got the mental yips out of his head because he's a capable kicker. He has shown that he can do the job. Yes, I'm the one saying this. He can do the job. Had they brought in another kicker, I think it would have been all out for him. I think he would have been shattered. The fact that Mike McDaniel keeps on reassuring him, and that's why I believe in this team, because they have a coach who believes in them and supports them and wants to be there for them. He's not just there to be a whipping boy telling them what to do. He's there to be not just their coach, but their friend and their ally. And I believe that Jason Sanders knows that he's been given a lifeline by Mike McDaniel, and he is going, I'm saying it here right now, I don't think he is going to miss a kick the rest of the season. I don't think he'll miss one kick the rest of the season. I have full faith in Jason Sanders. I am literally putting on my positive bandwagon hat and saying, Jason Sanders, I've been your hardest critic for the last 10 weeks. You have a free pass from me. You're not going to miss one more kick. And now our return game, I don't know what we're going to do about that. That as long as you don't fumble the ball, I'm fine. But defense on the returns, Jason Sanders, just kick it out of the end zone. Everything. What do you call it? Thomas Morstead, I give you permission. Every single kick it to the sidelines. I don't want.
What's that you said? Hey, what was that you said? You get your stuff in the mail and stuff. That's how it comes, and you crack it open. And
no, I don't pay. I have never once paid. I've never once paid for it. I have a good hookup. My best friend
completely flipped around on Sanders. Completely.
Because this is the bandwagon show. And I've had a taunt to medicate, do some yoga. It's the bias come by.
Hit the gong.
I am now breathing a sigh of relief and saying, Jason Sanders, you're my new best friend. You are going to take us to the promised land. Because when you need to make a kick, you know it's on you. Because like him, I'm giving him sort of the Tua treatment that everyone gave Tua at the beginning of the year. This is a make or break for him. If Jason Sanders wants to be in the NFL next year and not hanging it up back in Canada or in the XFL, he is going to be perfect the rest of this season. There's a faith in him that Mike McDaniel has, and if Mike McDaniel believes in him, I believe in him.
That's because he sees him kick all the time.
Yeah,
and then those are just it happens.
And I'm gonna. Do you believe in Jason Sanders, or are you still nervous?
I've always believed in Jason Sanders. It's just a matter of, like I said, he had some bad games. It happens.
So now we're heading to the fourth, fifth of the hour. We're going to be on the show for 5 more minutes and just take it easy. But everyone, I really appreciate everyone watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We really appreciate everyone watching. Dolphin Thirsty, Digging the Trenches, Ralphie Boy. Who else is joining? Steve's been quiet the last couple of minutes. I don't know where he went. Anthony, who your daddy?
Everybody's being quiet out there.
Everyone's being quiet. What's up? I guess I'm just listening to our beautiful sound of our voices. I'm going to take a moment because it doesn't happen on a lot of other shows. I'm going to take a moment to give credit where credit is due to a guy who never seeks appreciation, never seeks attention, but has done what he needed to do this season to surround Mike McDaniel with the players that he needs and the team that we want.
About me.
Yeah, you're a beautiful man. We know how wonderful you are. I always say how wonderful you are. Everyone still doesn't believe in our general manager. You want to know what? He did what he had to do. We needed a pass rusher. He got us a pass rusher. We needed a running back. He got rid of our deadbeat. He gave the hands of steel and got us a thumper. We needed the secondary. We needed depth there. I understand it was through Boyer, but God, Cater Kohu found all the players we needed over the last couple of years. He has done what he needed to do. He truly, I don't care what everyone says about Tua, he never got off the Tua train. That was all a Ross thing. I truly believe he's done what he needed to do for this team to give us a chance to win. Tyreek Hill, you could trade for him. You want? He went and got him. He did everything we needed a left tackle. You and I said, as long as Teron Armstead stays healthy, the offensive line is working. We all thought
I can't even begin to tell you how happy I am that we got Tyreek Hill, and it actually worked.
The guy knows what he's doing.
My God,
you want to know what makes him smart? You want
it.
what makes him smart? He's surrounded by Reggie McKenzie, Marvin Allen. The guy has the right pieces around him, and he's not just looking. He's not looking for the glory. He doesn't go out. Where are you going? I'm not making a good point here.
I'm listening to you.
Okay, Jesus. He's not like Jerry Jones. He's not like Jim Irsay. He's not like the guys who need the attention. The Miami Dolphins, Steve Ross knows where he needs to keep quiet. But the general manager of this team is not the focus of this team. A lot of teams, the general manager wants to be the focus. He wants to be just as important as the coach. He stays in the background. You never really see him on the field. He does what he needs to do. He gives the players. He knows what Mike McDaniel's capable of. And you want to know what? So do what? No one else would interview Mike McDaniel. He knew that this was the coach for him because they have a symbiotic relationship. So I want to give kudos to Chris Grier for allowing us to have a team that is going to continue to grow and blossom throughout the year. He is the depth. We have enough depth on this team. Finally getting Melvin Ingram. Finally getting pass rusher and Chubb and Wilson and Kader Kohu and finding Zach Sealer and get it. I just believe in this team. This team is, and you want to know what? You have to give him credit because he's had to put up with a lot of crap also over the last couple of years. And you want to know what? Good for him. No CFL updates tonight. The Toronto Argonauts won the Grey Cup.
This is how much I like the fact that we have Hill. See these?
Yeah. Are those the size Triple X? Those look like mine.
See that?
That's beautiful. Where'd you get those?
Those shorts I just got in the mail from my wife.
Very nice. Very nice.
So I'll be wearing those.
Yeah. So
Sunday.
Are you? That's beautiful. Are you? So what are your? I never asked you this because we always hear Mr. Negative about this because he's not so focused on him. But what are your thoughts on Chris Grier? I've never actually given you time to think about what your thoughts are, being a fan as long as you've been, of the job he's done this season and how he's put together this particular team.
Well, it's been a long road, and he's had to eat a lot of sandwiches from a lot of different people. But I'm one of the people that said from the very beginning it's going to take 3 to 4 years. And I stood by that. And when everybody was with the negative, I'm like, you got to give it time. It takes time to build these pieces. Whereas our friends out there like to say, you got to stack bricks. Yeah. So he's done nothing but stack bricks for this team and bring in that talent that we needed when it was time. Notice he did it when it was time. Yeah. He didn't do it before. He didn't waste all the money. He didn't waste all the picks. We got all these great picks for one player, and it just branched out from there. I mean, we've all seen the shows and everything on it. It's just amazing the job that he's done. He's done a great job. Yeah. I can't say any more about that. I mean, pieces that people didn't think fit the puzzle fit. They fit. And they're working. Now, he missed a lot on the offensive line. That I do have to say.
That's a lot of that development, though, right?
What's that?
Justin will talk about this also. He's talked about it many times in the show. Offensive linemen are talented enough, but you want to know what? You have to develop them, and now they have had coaches who needed time to develop them in the scheme. They had to adjust to a new scheme in live action, and they've made it work. They've made it work. And think about this. Right now, I don't care what anybody says. There's no other team in the league that has 4 players who are potentially four key cogs: Tyreek Hill, Tua, Chris Grier, and Mike McDaniel. Each of them have the opportunity, if they continue on this path, to be Coach of the Year, GM of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, and MVP. If we continue on this road and we finish 12-5 or 13-4, and we finish tops in the division or 1-2 in the conference, with the team and all the turmoil and everyone ripping on the Dolphins. Oh, this team is there's an 8 or 9 win team. They're not going to win more than they won last year. Give me a freaking break. They have surpassed all the noise. Think about it. Give credit to Mike McDaniel. He had to overcome. He had to overcome. I'm now down on 180 on McDaniel. I look back on it for the first half of the year. What he had to put up with in the press with what happened with Tua and how he was a doctor and this and that and how he treated Tua. You want to know what? He's a football coach.
Yeah,
he has to rely on his own team. He's gone through enough with the injuries he's had to face with Byron Jones, arms are not being 100%, Tua being out for 3 games, the offensive line not being sure of itself, Austin Jackson, then Liam Eichenberg, and then Trill Williams, and then Nick Needham, and then Brandon Jones. Like, you want to know what? With all that, the team continues
I wonder if
on the
Anthony
path.
has anything else to say.
I think he might be a bot. You never know. But zombie from getting on the wagon. The only zombie on this wagon is the high of the kite guy over here, right, guys? Guys, we really appreciate it. All I can say is, you want to know what? I can't wait for the next 7 weeks to be spending time with the Dolphins family on the Fin Talk Sports Network. We're having a blast. Subscribe, like, just continue to join our family. It's a lot of fun. We're a great group here. Don't forget at 9 o'clock, go get drunk with the Beer and Sports podcast. You're going to have a blast there tonight. I'm not sure what the rest of the shows are the rest of the week because all of you are Americans. I don't think shows are going to happen on Thursday with Thanksgiving. You guys might be high a little bit on turkey. By the way, what do you do for Thanksgiving?
Me?
Yeah. What do you do for Thanksgiving?
Oh, my wife and I will go out to a nice restaurant, upscale restaurant, and probably have something to eat. I don't know whether it'll be turkey, ham, lasagna, steak. I'm not really sure what I'll have. But I do want to say to everybody out there, thanks for joining us. And if you folks really ever want me to join you at some point in time, just DM me on Twitter.
Why aren't you inviting them onto our show? If anyone wants to come onto the Fins Bandwagon, come on the bandwagon. Just DM myself at Fins Pause or Fins to Win Hank. You're welcome anytime on the show. We have a lot of fun.
That goes without saying.
And think about it. The number one positive thing, which would make Bobby really happy, is you'll get me to shut up for a few minutes. So anyways, guys, we really appreciate you guys joining the show, watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. Everyone, look forward to the game against Houston. It's going to be a fun ride the next 7 weeks. It's been fun for the first 10 weeks of this season on the bandwagon. We're they are where we thought they'd be. Me and Hank, we believed in this team. I thought they'd even be a little bit better than they are. And the fact that they haven't been and they still have 7 wins, the sky's the limit with this team. They're about to explode, and then we're going to be along for the ride. We're going to make a couple extra seats on the bandwagon. So you want to know what? Anyone, just come join. Have a good time. So everyone, thank you for watching. And don't forget, as always, fins up.
Fins up.